Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at, to be honest, we're going to be just chilling. So Dokkan Boss Rushes are pretty straightforward. If you can complete a Dokkan event, you can pretty much do, like, without dying. If you can complete, a Dokkan event, you can essentially just kind of incinerate a Dokkan Boss Rush. And so, realistically, there's not a huge, I do these videos, these are just a good time to chill, and a really cool time to kind of like just relax, have a chat, talk about, basically what's happening on Dokkan, a little bit about the channel, and then, talk about like a whole bunch of other stuff, because it's Dokkan and chill. But before I do that, I do like to talk about the team, because I do like to put a pretty cool team together. And describe them and talk about them a little bit, because it's still Dokkan. I like talking about the team. So we have here a tournament participants team. This team's really come a long way, and it's going to get even better with the EZAs for MUI Goku and for Int Powerful Comeback SSBE Vegeta. But right now the team's looking a lot better. You've got this EZA for MUI Goku, which is insane. You have obviously the physical blue boys, who are also equally insane. We are probably one of the best supports in the game, in the form of Int Android 17 and 18. And you've got Strength SBKK. Look, I'm going to be honest, Strength SBKK, probably the first unit to fall out, potentially, like when Vegeta gets his EZA, because you're not going to take out any of the LRs, realistically. And I'd probably say running double 17 to 18 is way more impactful than not running them. But then we would see. We would see what would happen. I think, look, for me, all things aside, this team is looking really fun right now. I've been using them for a lot of events. They've got a big upgrade. Just the 2 units alone have made such a significant impact and really enabled units like MVP 17, who, by the way, looks so much better now with a strong core cast for him to work around, and even SBKK himself. Like, when he's not having to carry everything, he's now actually just a nice DPS burst off of his Spirit Bomb. So I think all of that is really, really good, and I think overall, if I'm being honest, I think this team is in a good space. So that's the team, and you should try it out. It's really a lot of fun. It is a red zone level team, so to say. Like, it's an end game content level team. This is not your I just want to clear Dokkan Boss Rush team, but it's a lot of fun to still run. But yeah, so now talking about obviously the anniversary. We're gonna get the release of Beast Gohan pretty soon. I think in 2 days or so, give or take 2 days. Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 as well. I myself, like most of you, will probably start with going for Beast Gohan. I think he's the better unit, but I think also just vibes. Look, and I love Gamma 1 and Gamma 2's vibes. I really do. I think that the characters are a lot of fun, let alone the unit and Dokkan and everything, like that aspect of it. I just think the characters are a ton of fun. So I gotta be honest, I probably will still go for Beast Gohan. He just is probably the top pick to go for. He's just really strong, really strong, and he enables a lot of my favorite other units. Like, I love Ultimate Gohan. He enables that unit. He's going to be great on a Hybrid Saiyans team. And he's just good. He's just really, really good. So him enabling other units, enabling himself, being a great tank, he's, the reason people like units like this is because he's just a strong unit that you get to incorporate in a lot of environments and a lot of positions on teams. And you can, place him in the first slot, the second slot, the third slot, the fourth slot. And you can just kind of really enjoy where he's going. Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, you can't do that. You can't put them first slot. You can put them second or third. But they are definitely more a support-led character. But they're equally as important. I think a lot of people are also forgetting. The super impressive Beast Gohan that you see a lot of the times is one that's on a team that's featuring Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. having a 50% support, a 2-turn defensive raise, all of the support capabilities that they provide is not something small. Like you'll notice it. Like if you try to pull him more so than if you try to pull, like, how can I say, like if you try to pull him and you don't get Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, and you try to compare him to how he did with a Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 on the team, you'll notice a difference. Of course, he's still great, and Gamma 1 and 2 themselves are still great, but they definitely do thrive together and complete probably one of the most insane teams in the game. Now, anniversary aside, I think the anniversary is going well. A big ticket on everyone's mind is obviously the merger. So the synergy, the acquisition, the synchronization. There we go. So the synchronization of the two versions, the sync, so to say. I think a lot of people, are obviously going to be super duper excited about the sync. I think there's a lot of concerns about the content we're missing. Like, will it all be thrown in a banner afterwards? Will it not be thrown into a banner? Is it going to be like big time thrown into a banner? I don't know. I think for me, if I'm being honest, generally thinking, whatever solution they come up with, I don't think is a major issue. Like, I just think ultimately, for me, if I look at like the concept of like Dokkan syncing up, I think ultimately the health is better for the game to rather add content in later than not, especially if it's just units and stuff. Like, I think the sooner they sync up, these small things will fall into place later on. They'll find ways to add them in, throw them in, get them integrated. But the more you leave like them having literal different celebrations, I think it's harder to sync. Like, I think it's harder because then you get closer to having another anniversary separate, you get closer to having another Christmas separate, you get closer to having another, like in between section separate. Superheroes will be the same, but it's just a lot easier to sync up now. You can go from Worldwide Celebration into Heroes Fest into like thank you celebration or whatever it is, into Christmas, into anniversary, into joint or whatever they'll call it now, synchronization day or whatever it is. And I think you'll have these like good moments with the game, whereas I think if you hold on, then you'll cause more periods where there'll be this desync that naturally occurs because you're running different campaigns or different legs. Like, anniversary is a 1.5 month long event. JP during that time traditionally has 1.5 campaigns, so it's very hard to then synchronize when your timings are so off. But at the same time, it is what it is. I think it's going to be good. I think a lot of people also are just a bit negative. Like, I think it's easier to be negative about what's going to happen. Are they going to sync it properly? Are they not? What's going to happen to global? Are we going to miss out? Are we going to miss out on discounts or the stones? But I think you got to accept that you probably will lose a bit of stones or miss out on some discounts or good windows to get units that you may probably have had if we'd remained separate. It's like we're also going to lose the ability to pre-plan, and I think that's something you have to deal with. I think, I notice a lot more with Dokkan because I play a lot of games. Like, I play Blue Archive, I play, HSR and that type of stuff is all synced. But I play Blue Archive, play Epic 7, I think which is also synced. But there's always some of these differences, and the communities generally determine, how bad those differences are. I think for Dokkan for a while, the global communities had an issue with obviously getting units later. It's a hype thing. It's also like a planning thing because it kind of messes with your head when you're like trying to save, but then you don't have to, but then you don't know, but then you know. And it's just disappointing because you'll see the units months in advance. If you're involved in the community at all, you could not. I mean, you really could not. Like, I mean, if you just didn't go on Twitter or do like stuff like that, you probably wouldn't notice, like, literally at all. you you're like, wow, this Gogeta and Broly are so cool for this anniversary. I can't believe I didn't know. But I think a lot of people are involved in the community, and so it removes an element of the hype that they have for, these type of things. So yeah, it's not like, for me, a huge major problem, but it is definitely, like something that needs to be addressed. And I think they are going to address it. They have the date, they have everything set in mind, and I think it's good overall. For me as a channel, it's difficult to say what that means. I don't actually know what it means. Will my channel do worse? Will it do better? Generally during superheroes and worldwide celebration, the channel does better. That is with synced content, so I assume that is the case, but that's also hype units usually. Units generally are the primary driver of like views and activity and stuff. They release a DFE, Chaozu, and Yamcha, although I dig it, they probably are not going to get as many clicks on any social media, let alone YouTube, with things like that. So, I don't know. We'll see. For me personally, I'm not too concerned about the views. I really get more views and things and everything than I, really thought I would get at any given point in time. So for me, it's much of a muchness. I'm not that concerned about views or anything like that. But it is interesting to note. It is interesting to see what will happen with a lot of people, because for so long there's been a divide. There's been JP YouTubers and global YouTubers and people that do both, and I've been requesting, do this on JP, do that on this. It's going to be interesting to see what changes, what kind of content will happen, who will do what kind of views will this get, or who's going to do this type of content, because everyone's going to do the same stuff. So you don't have a split. Everyone's the same kind of saturation. Instead of giving 5 delayed reviews of Gogeta LR, you're now going to get 10 reviews from your Dokkan channels all at once, which is interesting. I think in some ways it could be good, in other ways it could be bad. For me, it is what it is. Like I said, I don't really care. I just enjoy doing what I do. I'm trying to make newer content, different content. I mean, I'm doing Legends. I try to do the trading card game, but it's very hard just because the currency, the model's not really free to play, so it's hard to do. I probably will do Sparking Zero. Definitely, I'm looking forward to that. So that's cool. I do plan on doing some other DBZ stuff on the channel. Just, why not? So I'm excited to see. I do have some other projects going on for my other channels after this. I've got like the War Within expansion for WoW. I've got another anniversary for Blue Archive. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.